Trey Songz, thank you so much for coming in
What's up,
studio.
Krista? How you
What's
doing?
going on, man?
Everything cool.
Let me find out you were in my hometown growing
Be
up.
more. What up? DMV, all that. What's up?
Yeah, I mean, but just want to talk a little bit about you, Trey. So you were born in Virginia?
Yeah, born and raised in Virginia for the most part. I moved around a lot as a child though. From the time I was 7 to the time I was like 15. Like I went to 9 schools before high school. You know, I lived in Florida, Kansas, of Jersey. Like you mentioned, Baltimore. I went to 3 different middle schools in Baltimore. Like I moved around like between my mother marrying a military man and, you know, her chasing her dreams as well on her own. So, you know, that helped with diversity and, you know, what I actually do now, whereas though I'm in a different city every day. So it kind of groomed me for the life I live now.
Well, I hear that you were kind of a shy child.
They say that. I wasn't actually though. I was actually shy in the pursuit of music and you know, just basically jumping out and being the one person from my town that thought they was special, that could do something that was totally outlandish and beyond, you know, what was right in front of me. I think that in a lot of today's communities, you see mediocrity and you see yourself surrounded by that, and you think that you have to be that. You know what I mean? Not even, you know, putting that pressure on yourself that you can be different, but thinking that being different is like outside of the norm. That as a child, you know, so it took a lot of pushing from my mom, from my family, from my friends, like, go ahead, do this talent show, do this. And then I grew a liking for myself and self-confidence, and, you know, I'm here where I am now today.
And so talent shows is kind of what got you noticed.
No, definitely. And then I was actually able to meet my producer, Troy Taylor, at the age of 15. My first album came out when I was 20. When I graduated at 17, I moved in with him. Third album, Ready, took off. I went on tour with Jay-Z, went on tour with Usher, had my own tour, and you know, that was kind of like the pinnacle, like, moment where things just started shifting. And now we're here talking about so many things, from my 6th studio album going #1, my 5th. Now I got another album coming out June 23rd. My alcohol brand, SX, is here.
Yeah, we're going to get into all that. So how did you end up partnering with the founder of SX?
Well, when I met with the CEO, David Knight, he had a long drawn out PDF he wanted to show me. He had this, that, and I said, if it don't taste good, we can't do nothing. You know, so after we sat down, we had a couple drinks straight up, clean my palate, take the next one, and I liked every flavor. You know, and I love this appeal. And what I then started to do was just take a different introspect on what the alcohol business was like, and learn for myself, knowing that 60% of alcohol is bought for women or by women, you know, with my fan base being 90% women, and having grown with me and being very sensual and sexy within the branding of myself and the branding of SX. It kind of was a natural matrimony. And I love it myself, you know, and my team love it. We got all on the bus. We done took it all around the world.
But I mean, so many entertainers get into liquor. You have Jay-Z with Duce. You have Puffy with, well, is he Diddy or Puffy? What is he now? He's Puffy,
Sean
right?
Puffy
Sean
Combs,
Puffy
always.
Combs, right? Right? So, you know, he has Ciroc. What makes this brand any different than the ones that are out there?
Well, the brand is specifically targeting, you know, females. It's specifically targeting my fan base. I think the difference between a Ciroc and a Puff and SX and myself is you have Diddy, who's had Biggie's had so many different legacies. He's known for throwing parties, things of that nature. And when the Ciroc brand launched, Diddy was already a part of so many different other things that he created. I think that was a natural integration for him. For me, I think this is natural in the sense where, as though, like I said, sensuality, women, learning about the business, and even everything down to the shape of the bottle. You know, it's a woman's figure with her legs crossed. You know, the aesthetic of it all. And you know, at this point in my career, having been doing this 10 years and still at a rise, you know, this is something that I wanted to align myself with that was true. You know, something that I enjoyed. I've had opportunities to do this with other brands. You know, Ciroc actually being one of them that we've spoken about. Diddy, you know, he's a big brother and mentor of mine. So he, of course, reached out to me at the beginning when he was reaching out to a lot of other people about, you know, endorsing and things of that nature. I've worked with, like I said, many other brands, and none have hit me in a way where as though I wanted to, you know, give my all and align it directly with my brand and say that, you know, because as an artist in today's age with so many fickle bases as far as consumption of music. Streaming is now taking over, whereas though purchasing was taken over. You said the CD was taken out by the MP3, now the MP3 being taken out by streaming. So, selling my fans something that's true, that aligns itself with me, because within music, you selling yourself.
Definitely.
Like, and not saying that to say you selling yourself out, but you're selling your imagery, you're selling your likeness, and when you align that with something, my management could go on and manage other artists. My producers can go make music for other people, but for me to have put this beside my name and make sure that it is as strongly mentioned, as strongly branded as my brand within itself, I think it's a testament to my belief in it and how much I actually love it myself. And my fans and I share such a real relationship that I wouldn't fabricate anything just for a check for them. So I wanted to make sure this was something authentic, something that I loved, and something that fit along with my lifestyle and theirs.
Now your brand is very sensual, just you overall, right? And I want to know what that comes from. I know you have a very unique relationship with your mother. You're very close to her. So how does that kind of play into who you are as an artist, as a man, as a performer?
Well, I think my artistry and me as a man, they kind of they cross each other a lot of times, but I keep a lot of my private life private. I am the man of my family. I do take care, everybody from my auntie to my little cousins to my mama to my nephew to, my little brother work for me. My mother's a partner in my business. My other little brother is a producer within my company. I have a publishing company as well as production company as well. And, the sensuality just comes from, I guess, being raised by women. Maybe it wasn't a lot of men around. My father was missing in action. My stepfather was missing in action. Uncles, caught up in the lifestyle that urban environments usually bring, in and out of jail from time to time. So that really wasn't the path that my mother wanted me to take. And even when we spoke about Baltimore, my mother worked for the Department of Juvenile Justice in Baltimore. So she was a juvenile PO. So
that's why you were on point.
Yeah, I was going through hell at home. But outside of that, man, it's just, my grandmother teaching me everything from when I was probably 14 years old. We was walking down the street one day, and I was on the wrong side, and she was on the outside. She said, as a man, you got to walk on the inside of the street. So you protect the woman. You open this door for me. You open this door for me. Don't let me walk through no door. Just being raised by women and being around women, knowing what women want, I think that has a lot to do with the sensuality and the romanticism in my music, and me just loving women outside of that.
You just loving women, huh? Well, I know that you've had some really strong influences. I heard about this R. Kelly impersonation that you can do. I love the both of y'all, as a matter of fact.
R. Kelly's amazing. Shout out to R. Kelly, Keith Sweat. An amazing moment in my career, actually, when they came out on the Between the Sheets tour that Chris Brown and I had. And I actually got to sit on the same stage and watch him perform some of my favorite songs. It was dope. And he drinks some of that SX too. Shout out to Kels. He liked the cha-cha-cha.
And let's talk about this whole, you co-headlining this tour with Chris Brown, who once was coined as one of your biggest competitors. How does that work? How does that work as far as sharing the stage with somebody just as big as you are and as talented?
I think, competition is something that you need, within any sport. You have what may be a nemesis, to whatever it is you're doing. It gives you that extra drive, and he and I think, have given each other extra drive from, hearing each other's records to going to each other's shows to being each other's friends, and, at this day and age, us now being veterans in the game, it was a decision we both made, for the greater culture of music and showmanship to come together and make it what we actually made it. That was probably a month and a half run. Then we went. I did the Pink Print tour, the first installment with Nicki Minaj in Europe, which was amazing. Then we came back, and I've done Orlando Grad Bash probably the last 4 years. But this year we did every weekend Grad Bash, for a month. I was there. That was exciting. And a week ago, actually 3 days ago, I just came back from Namibia, which is a country that just got their independence from South Africa probably 25 years ago, and we celebrated that. That was awesome. So it's a lot going on.
Yeah, I mean, but how do you balance all that? I mean, you write, you produce, you act, you have a liquor brand now. Right. How do you balance all of this as a man? Man,
I don't know, actually. I just get up and go. Right. I'm determined. I'm determined to leave my legacy here within my music, within my business, within my team, just so everybody knows that the efficiency rate that in which we work at is something that's of greatness. You know, every day I wake up, I'm not here and just happy to be here, happy that, you know, there was a time when I was a young artist that was, you know, very much happy to be able to go shoot a video, to do this. You know, it's purpose within everything I do. And with a team like I have, a support system like I have, it's easy to get up and just keep going. And anybody that's out there pursuing success, you know, you need people around you that can push you towards that place. And I thank my team for giving me consistency, for giving me, you know, clarity. And outside of that, I'm just driving to be the greatest.
And you
within
bring
every area of what I do.
And you bring your fans along with you too. You had them.
They're part of every experience.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Angels.
Yes,
you
the
know,
Angels.
SX Angels. And if you on your socials, you know, #, hashtag demand SX at SX Liquors, at Trey Songz on Instagram, at Trey Songz on Twitter. It's a lot going on. A lot of summer shows I'm doing too that you'll find out about. I may be coming to your city, baby.
Well, speaking of Angels, I know we got to wrap up soon, but speaking of Angels, you're also very committed to giving back.
Yeah,
you have your
definitely.
Angels with Heart, and they go out, they participate in the community, you have service projects. How does that work?
I like the way you actually basically, you know, said that really quickly. We do have service projects. We have fans in their own hometown. This is actually how it started initially when I went on tour a few years back. Fans would give me these amazing gifts. And, you know, it actually took up the whole back of the tour bus. So I didn't have nowhere to sleep because of so many gifts. So I started the initiative of having fans do something with their time or with their money in their neighborhood instead of giving that to me, because I didn't really need it. I appreciate the love. And I would do door-to-door turkey giveaways in my hometown, you know, with my mom, like in the back of her Benz. Like, is Trey Songz outside? No, it's not. We don't want your turkey. Okay, cool. You know, so we had to figure out a way to, you know, do that correctly. And Angels with Heart is now 3 years in existence officially. I donate every November to the foundation, whether it be through shows, whether it be through drives, things of that nature. We feed 130 plus kids a month that may not get food otherwise. It's just something that my mother always instilled in me. You know, when you do better, you got to do better. You know, because I remember needing clothes when I was young, and there was Salvation Army was there to give it, or you know, when my mother was in need, there was always someone there to help us. And I feel like, you know, when you get blessings, you got to give them as well.
Definitely. Well, one thing we do here at Fox, we do this Proud American. You are the true example, like you just said, from having to get clothes from the Salvation Army to giving clothes away in abundance. So
that's love.
how exactly, but how has your life been a true example of just the American dream? Why are you proud to be an American?
The American dream is all the way real when you could come from poverty. You know, they say, you know, if you're born poor, that's not your fault, you know, but there's everything here for you to leave this earth with that being the opposite. And wealth and abundance, not just in money, but in character, but in love. And there's so many different things I owe it to, and God being number one, and my family being the next, and, you know, making good decisions, and just truly, outside of anything else, believing in myself.